Good morning, everybody. My name is Mark Hunt. I work at Martha Jefferson. I do the marketing and admissions. This is the very first episode of a podcast where we get to introduce some of our residents and hear their life stories. I'm very excited to do this today with Mr. Kaplan. Welcome to the first episode of A Life Unedited. My name is Mark Hunt. I do the marketing and admissions at Martha Jefferson House. Life Unedited is a podcast where I get to sit down and hear the life story and perspective of people who have lived their lives to the fullest. Today, I'm very honored to have Saul Kaplan.
Thank you.
An accomplished artist, published author,
That's questionable.
poet, teacher, father, and husband.
Tennis player.
And tennis player. Thank you for being with me today, Mr. Kaplan.
Thank you.
Saul, you were born in 1929,
Right.
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn.
Yep. 1929 was a big year in history.
Yes.
And it was Black Tuesday in the beginning of the Great Depression.
True.
It was Prohibition era. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin, revolutionizing medicine and the development of antibiotics.
True.
So significant to say the least. You were born the second child to your parents
True.
at the very beginning of the Great Depression. What did your parents do for work?
What am I what?
What did your parents do for work?
My mother was a mother, and my father was a peddler. As I explained, he sold everything that's sellable. If you needed a set of linens, if you needed shirts, socks, a diamond ring, he would get it for you, but you would have to pay him $2 a week.
To get whatever you needed?
Installment. It was called installment selling. Very popular at that time.
Wow. And was he able to support the family by doing this?
What?
Was he able to support the family by doing this?
We owned a house with 2 other apartments.
Wow. That's incredible. So that's incredible.
Well, I guess so. He was a hustler.
You mentioned that he went to the World Fair in Chicago in the mid 30s. How did your mom support the family when he left?
She just went on.
Yeah, she took over the peddling. Did she take over the peddling that he? No.
She tried to collect the money. My father had a book with the names in it and addresses, and I don't know what system he used, but he went around collecting.
Wow.
And then we got, I guess, the orders from the phone.
Wow. Let me ask you, what was it like growing up in the 1930s and 40s?
I have no idea.
In Brooklyn during the height of World War II, and
World War II was exciting because I had turned old enough to become part of what they called the messenger, and I got a little triangle to put on the back of my bicycle, showing I was a part of this team. When the bombing comes and they had to send messages, we were the messages. We formed a baseball team.
Wow.
And that gave us some kind of social structure and purpose in the war.
Wow.
My father was an air raid warden. He got a white helmet and a spray to put out the incendiary bombs. We knew we were part of the war when we got bracelets IDing us in case there was a bombing of New York, and that was an ID bracelet.
Wow.
But as far as, and I knew that it was serious because in the park they had anti-aircraft guns with big spotlights in case there was a air raid.
Wow.
But they would never, there was only one false alarm where they sent us home.
Wow.
That was it. But you got to remember, I'm 12 and 13,
Yeah.
11, 12, 13, so I'm still playing.
What was it like? So, what was it like being Jewish during that time in the Nazi era, Nazi Germany? A lot of anti-Semitism.
Yeah. We were near a big Catholic diocese, and during certain holidays, we were cursed or blamed for death of Jesus. You know, you killed Christ kind of thing.
Right.
And I try to stay away from it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The danger, I imagine, that came to young people was going back to the high school at night. It was in a rough neighborhood, and you were in danger of being attacked.
Yeah.
But I left out an important part of my learning just now. I went to trade school for a year, where I learned how to do jewelry and work with iron, work with metal.
Interesting.
So I'm not academic. The academic subjects were not even. We went to the park. We just mentioned we didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
But in the shop, I learned all about handling metal.
Interesting.
Also, I had a part-time job
How old were you?
delivering glasses, lenses to the optometrists in New York, and that's how I switched from a vocational education to an academic education. Somehow, in the school, can't go into too much detail, they recognized that I was wasting my time. So one of the teachers, who I'll never know, but I bless him, said, get out of the school and go academic if you want to go to college or get a better education. So somehow I made a transfer. So in my second year of, I guess I was 15,
Wow.
I went to academic school. And then another thing happened there that I didn't expect, and I don't, still to this day, amazed at. I immediately got on the newspaper and I became a reporter.
Really? At 15?
So I started to write when I was 15 or
Wow.
even younger. When I got to 16, I had my first short story published.
Wow. So that was actually my next question. When did you, so that was when you kind of started to enjoy writing.
Excuse me?
So that was actually my next question. I said that was around the time when you started to enjoy writing, was around 15,
Well, I
16?
started to write.
Yeah.
To this day, it's only been recently I said, why did I start writing? Who taught me how to write? Two things. One, my friends were writers.
Mm-hmm.
My local peers were on the newspaper, so they took me on the newspaper. And secondly, I didn't realize it, but I was reading a lot.
Yeah.
And if you read a lot, you write.
Right.
So I wrote. I wrote book review, play review, a lot of straight news, who, what, when, where, why, and how, and became a headline editor. whatever that is. So I did get some kind of academic education, and it was a miracle. I graduated when I was 18. I passed French, don't ask how, but I passed the Regents. In those days, you could not get a diploma, an academic diploma, unless you passed Regents, which was standardized test
Right.
in different subjects. I failed algebra, but I graduated with a degree.
That's incredible. When did you start drawing?
What?
When did you start drawing?
Well, while I was on the newspaper, I did a cartoon here and there. Not
Yeah.
very good.
As a kid,
I didn't
did
think
you
of
draw?
myself as honest. That's the most interesting part of my life. I was working as an usher in a theater, and my best friend there, or the friend there, was the head usher. His name was Paul Freeman, and he was the class artist. And he said, "Come down with me. I want to register in this new kind of school. It's a 2-year school. At that time, it was called 2-year school. It became
Was it
like a community college.
Gotcha.
And one of the subjects was commercial art. So I'm sitting here, and he's registering, and I never forget, I said, what do you want? He says, why don't you register? I wasn't going to college. I couldn't complete the college entrance because of my eyes. For some reason, I didn't do it. So I registered, and it was commercial art.
Interesting. Wow.
I didn't know what it was all about. Another blank in my life, but somehow I can't go into the detail, it'll take another hour, but I became a student. And I got a job in the art supply store so I can get art supplies. And that's how I got introduced into the art world. And that transitions over because one of the teachers at the school considered me a talent and a maverick. And I was with a friend who just got out of the Army, and he took us over figuratively, no, literally, to the Hans Hofmann School and registered us after a year as scholarship students, so I didn't pay. That's how I got into fine art.
Well, that's incredible.
And I didn't know anything about that either.
Well, those who are not familiar with Hans Hofmann School of Fine Arts, it was a place for young artists to learn and master the practice of working in the studio. It was not for underdeveloped artists, but rather an environment for educated and seasoned young artists to hone their technical skills. It was founded by Hans Hofmann, who was a contemporary of Henri Matisse.
Who what?
He was a contemporary of Henri Matisse.
He was in his 60s, yeah.
No. Did you study under Hofmann?
What do you mean under him?
Was he...
He came around once a week
Okay.
and criticized you. He would come by the easel and make corrections and talk to you. I don't think he had that much interest. Once a month, he had a general critique of anything that you brought to him. That's when the famous people, not famous at that time because the guy next to me was just a guy,
Right.
but that was when the people came from all over, writers, scholars, and listened to him critique people's artwork. What he was saying, I didn't understand.
Would you contribute your time at the Hans Hofmann School to the structure and discipline that made you a successful artist?
Would I attribute studying with him being successful?
As an artist?
No, I don't know anything about my success. I really don't.
Well, how did you learn the discipline and the structure and your style of art?
I don't know. I brought some of the books here. I did cubism.
Mm-hmm.
I did something. I put something down. It wasn't really that good.
Well, your style of neo-cubism has been compared to Picasso.
Compared to?
To Picasso.
Everybody is. I mean, anything that is abstract or not realistic, eye on the side, eye on the head, is considered Picasso-like.
Yeah.
Picasso is Picasso.
Yeah.
And if he put an eye that way, that was an eye that way. There's only so many eyes you could create. I never considered it style. I didn't know what I was doing. I must have enjoyed what I was doing, though. I met a lot of people, enjoyed what I was doing, but as far as being part of the art style work, school of art, I don't know. That's all in hindsight.
Yeah. Well, that brings me to my next questions. In 1950s Brooklyn, you were in the middle of the post-war cultural phenomenon of abstract impressionism. Artists like Jackson Pollock, Gaston, Reinhardt. Did you rub shoulders with any of them? Did you know any of them at the time?
Not really intimately. No. Their wives. Not really. No. That's a very vague part, and that's a very short part of my life.
Yeah.
Because I decided from art school, I had a girlfriend, and I had to make some money, so I went to work. And then the thing that changed my life was a head-on collision.
Really?
And right in the front page headline, I hit it was a rainy day. I was working in a store delivering something, and my truck, a 1941 Ford mechanical brakes, not too hard, slipped on the mud, went over a mall, and hit a doctor called Jack London, a brain surgeon. He walked out of his car holding his brains in his hands. They kept me on for insurance reasons. I was under 21. But that ended my commercial career, and from that job, I went directly into college.
Wow.
I went to Queens College, which was literally free. And that's where my academic career started. And I didn't know what to study, so I won't go into this either, I picked art history, which was ridiculous because art history, you go nowhere commercially, you can't make a living. And there's where my life started. One of my lives started. You hit right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Did you meet Carol in college?
What?
Where did you meet your wife, Carol?
My brother was going to City College at that time, and he was in a kind of houseplant thing. So I met her at a party.
Okay, nice. So you got your wife, Carol, pregnant. Well, at the time, she was your girlfriend. And you had to transition into a career to support.
Into a steady job to support a child and wife. Right.
Is that when you took the assistant principal job at the
It's
fine?
that's a long history at that point because I became a teacher and that went on for 30 years. I became a teacher, then a supervisor. That was my educational career.
And that was at
But
the...
during that career, I got 2 master's degrees.
Wow.
So I studied art and I advanced myself
Wow.
in the job.
That's incredible. Was that at the Fine and Industrial Arts Program of New York?
My official license was assistant principal, administration, fine arts. And I covered vocational things too. In other words, I had a couple of teachers that taught vocational
Yeah.
and other.
That's incredible.
That's a long span. That's where I created the bulk of my work, which is now being recognized. Notice I used the word recognized.
Yeah.
I didn't say it's great. We'll get to that later. That's the most interesting part of my life, which you're getting to.
Would you consider yourself more as an artist or an educator?
I consider myself an intellectual. An intellectual has to recognize what education we can give.
Yeah.
The recognition as an artist was just luck or it's just there, Mark. You are either discovered, you're not discovered, or it's not there. But the fact to jump ahead 50 years, the curator who came over recently at my request told me I sold 90 pieces of artwork.
Wow. That's
which
incredible.
is a lot.
That's incredible.
How much they went for, why they went, don't ask. But I think, and I brought samples, that some of my work is good. Some.
I've seen your work. It's incredible.
What?
I said I've seen your work, some of your work, of course, and it's incredible.
Thank you. It's subjective to a degree. It's subjective to a degree. But then again, I think some of it is good. A lot of it's bad. Nothing was intended to be bad. Nothing was intended to be good. I just did it. I was very lucky.
What happened inside of you when you would walk up to a canvas?
What?
What would happen inside of you as an artist as you walked up to a blank canvas?
Covering it.
Did you have an idea in your mind of what you were going to make?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Figurative. Faces. Heads. People expressing themselves. Most of my drawing and figurative work is done on ceramics.
Yeah.
80% of my work is ceramics.
Yeah.
So they're vases, plates. You have one of my weight pieces?
I do. I do it in my office, actually. So
Which one?
I just have you made a bowl.
Oh, so you got, okay.
I inherited it with the office, fortunately.
Well, I made hundreds of those.
Yeah.
Sold hundreds.
When you painted, what did you have an idea of what you were going to make before you started painting?
No, just that I was going to do a figure. I am obsessed with heads. I am obsessed with hands. And I put them together. And I have one sample I brought, which is in my wagon, which was the signature painting used in my retrospect. And that is beautiful. That's just came out.
I agree.
Lucky.
So you have said in a previous interview that when you walked up to a canvas that you were just spilling your guts.
Well, you use the word spilling your guts, and that's true. What the guts, I mean, you don't spill them in the sense that you're suffering that much, but you just do it.
Yeah.
You just do it. If it comes out, it comes out. I don't know what would be the ideal artist in my feelings, which I'm very strong about art. Van Gogh, Rembrandt, Raphael, Michelangelo. These are artists that they just did. They would have done it in any circumstances. They just did it. Art is an amazing thing if you can use it to express yourself. I liken it very much to athletics. The guy that could hit baseballs speeding at 90 miles an hour, hit tennis balls with such accuracy, is motor muscle memory with tons and endless practice and doing over and over, skating, ballet, certain things where you use your body and it combines with rhythm, temperament. I think that's a very strong compulsion in that. The thing I miss terribly in the last 10 years is my tennis.
Yeah. So do you think the tennis helped with your motor skills?
What?
Did the tennis help keep your motor skills at?
Which will help.
Did tennis, when you played tennis?
I don't play any more tennis.
I know, but when you did do you feel like it helped you?
I don't know. I played also
Yeah.
out of enjoyment.
Out of enjoyment.
I got good enough, not high, not A, somewhere in the B plus, to able to enjoy the game. It's like, I imagine if you're a writer or an athlete, you have to have enough skill to create something.
Right.
It has to come out.
Right.
Writers are the same too. You just got to do it. My educational thrust, if you want to, is to encourage people that they have to do these things. They have to work.
Yeah.
You just don't talk about it. Go ahead.
I kind of want to move on to your family. How long after you had your first child did you and Carol get married?
She went to Europe with scholarship money, and she went in something like July, and when she came back in September, she told me she was pregnant.
Okay.
And we got married immediately.
Okay.
At that time, it still is probably a shame, something you don't brag about. But I felt I would do it, and marriage would, if we don't want to, we want to talk about it in the sense that it was good and bad.
Yeah.
Nothing is perfect.
What do you think marriage taught you that art didn't?
You mean comparing art and marriage?
Well, your career as an artist. You know,
I didn't have a career. I just did. I just did. I didn't go around trying to say, this is a great body of work and I'm going to be a great artist.
Trying to sell it.
I just did it.
Yeah.
And I had enough money from the pension to do the artwork. Very lucky in that respect on that. But when I gave up teaching, I transitioned, that's another story, into writing poetry and got a couple of poems published in the Times.
Wow.
Won a couple of little awards and became president of my poetry society. and I enjoyed poetry.
Well,
Was I good? Was I bad? I don't know.
I've read a couple of your poems. I think they're very good.
Thank you. You did?
I
How
did.
did you read my poems?
I told you I did my research.
Okay, I'm not going to argue.
What do you think Carol understood about you that others did not?
Who?
Your wife. What do you
She
think?
loved me.
What do you think she understood about you? That
She just loved me.
yeah.
She was bipolar, so that became complicated things. So the marriage was very difficult, but it was also rewarding.
Yeah.
Nothing, as I preface this, nothing is even. You can't say, I had a successful marriage, or my marriage was miserable. I had the good and the bad.
Yeah.
And I accepted the bad, not out of guilt, but I just accepted it. I did the best I could. And that I tried not to hurt anybody. I tried. The one thing that I neglected and didn't realize it, and it's very hurtful, is that the kids were affected
Yeah.
by her illness. So I was preoccupied with her while the kids drifted from relative to relative. And they suffered because they didn't understand mental illness. Mental illness is still not understood the way it should be. It's still got myths, primitive,
Right.
you know, cause she's mentally ill, or he's mentally ill because he was hit. The fact that the statistics for mental illness in a concentration camp are the same without a concentration camp, the same amount of breakdowns. It's a chemical thing. It's not completely, things are not really understood. Though they've come a long way, but they're always coming a long way, but you don't cure it.
Right.
So it was befuddling, but I wasn't trapped by the fact I didn't feel guilty. I did not feel guilty.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law, Carol's brother, was Asperger. Asperger, it's no longer called mental illness. It's
Right.
on the spectrum.
Right.
You understand that? So it could be anywhere. I have two of my sons are Asperger, to a degree.
And they're both very successful.
What?
And they're both very successful.
Academically, very successful. My oldest son got his doctorate from Princeton.
It's incredible.
One of the first. My other baby, my younger one, got his doctorate from Illinois, from University of Northwestern University. Sorry.
Also very incredible.
And the middle one, who should have been down last week, was very successful in business here in Charlottesville. That's why I'm sitting here. And he does all the financial work in my career. So I'm lucky. You're looking at a lucky guy.
So you moved to Lake Monticello. So that was also one of my questions. You moved to Lake Monticello in 1990, and I was curious as why Virginia and then why Lake Monticello of all places?
Yes, good question. It was my 90th birthday, February 24th. My wife, I guess I did, planned a big party with maybe 30, 40 people. And she was being taken care of by an aide who was incompetent, dropped her in the shower, and she almost bled to death. The 24th, she couldn't go to the party. When she finally, they saved her life, which is another story. My Eric, that's the middle one, and his wife came to you, Martha Jefferson. He then came to me and said, your mother's going into the downstairs until she gets better.
Into our healthcare unit.
What?
Into our healthcare unit.
Yeah, well, she downstairs. And you, this is where you come in, have this nice apartment, and she will come up from the, what is it called downstairs? The
Carlisle.
And take that bedroom. And she will not go back to your townhouse on the lake. I said, okay. So I said, maybe I'll keep the townhouse on the lake, but that lasted a week.
Really?
And then I sold it.
What prompted you to move to Lake Monticello in the first place?
Leave it?
What prompted you to move there from New York to Lake Monticello?
I wanted to move to a place on a lake, on water, where I could fish. I liked to fish as a kid. Big fisherman.
Yeah.
Very important in my life, fishing. And my son, Eric, had moved down to Charlottesville, or actually, he lived in I forgot the community near it.
The Lake Monticello community?
Near Charlottesville.
Okay.
And they had a little baby. And so I decided I'm going to leave New York, live on the lake, fish,
Nice.
sculpt, play. Really tough.
Enjoy retirement, yeah.
And so I left New York. My wife wasn't that happy,
Yeah.
but she came with me. And yeah, she was not that ecstatic about it. So I heard about Lake Monticello from people through my son and went out and we purchased a condominium,
Nice.
a townhouse condominium, and stayed there for 30 years.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, had a good time.
So your wife and you moved to Martha Jefferson House afterwards. After she got better.
She never got better.
Yeah.
She couldn't manage to go from the bed to the bathroom.
Yeah. So we're running out of time, so I wanted to kind of touch on something a little bit more existential.
Yes, we have to get to the purpose of my life now, which will cost you another.
There has been a growing profession in the U.S. with death doulas. It has been attributed to a broader cultural shift referred to as death positivity.
Death what?
Positivity.
Positivity?
That's what they refer to it at.
Death.
So Saul, you're working with a death doula now.
Yes.
When did you realize your life was nearing its final chapter?
When I got 90, and I was sitting on my bench, incidentally, I was the president of my condominium. They gave me a big bench with a plaque. And I'm sitting on the bench, and I'm looking, and my wife is in the condominium, and I'm on the bench. And I said, 90, that's not bad. I said, 90 is not bad. It's got to be over.
When did you...
So I decided that was a crucial time. And then, of course, I told you what happened.
When did you start working with Lindsay?
With what?
With Lindsay. When did you start working with Lindsay?
I think a year ago.
A year ago. Did you realize that you were nearing the end of your life about a year ago?
I was very philosophical, introspective, of course, considering my life and what I was doing. And the main question, and this is the question that should come up with you all the time, is what have we got to contribute? Why do people want us to live longer? And she and the psychiatrist and whoever I met, that's Doug, too, who is my manager, and I call him my surrogate son, convinced me that actually they wanted me to live. They wanted to be part of my life. So that's very important.
That is very important.
The question of, and the answer all the time is cliche, and then I even thought about that, is that through your experience, you have something to contribute.
Right.
In other words, wisdom,
Right.
which was part of the lecture that Kathy gave the other day. That wisdom. Yes,
Well, thank you.
I do, over the last 7 years at Martha Jefferson, have given guidance, not overtly and big, to the nurses, the younger people. They need certain encouragements.
Sure.
So you have to have some purpose in living in life. If you want to call it wisdom, that's why I'm hoping an interview like this would turn to the more existential
Yeah.
reasons of existing. Right now, it's a balance between comfort and life.
Yeah.
Life is not comfortable.
You're saying life is not comfortable now?
What?
Life is not comfortable
Well,
now?
I'm dizzy. I can't see too straight.
Yeah.
I don't have a incredible appetite. I mean, I feel to be a burden to a degree. And I think of Howie, who asked me or told me not too far away, too long ago, that he was ready.
Yeah.
So I'm ready. I felt impelled or satisfied or justified in existing because I was hoping this interview, I don't know where it's going, will help somebody out, reach somebody. And if I want to have a mantra or a theme, I would say, one, do no harm. We can make people feel guilty. We can say things. We can demand things. Do no harm. And the second would be positive, which I'm trying to do here.
Which you did. Which you accomplished, for sure.
Well, I don't know what I accomplished.
You did. And I really appreciate you taking the time and doing this. This is...
You mean it's been 45 minutes?
It has. It has. It went by fast.
Well, time does go. I see Doug, who is 70 years old, and he's now suffering from some kind of heart. I see Ed, who just had a new baby. Ed Miller. Not you, Ed Miller. His name is Ed Miller. Edward, his name, he's a sculptor. He just got a baby. His wife is Lebanese, and she's the head of cancer research at UVA.
Wow.
She's an amazing woman. His friend, whoever wants to visit me. So you have come to me hoping that I would contribute something.
And you have. You certainly have.
So I hope I have.
You have.
If I want to summarize everything, and Lindsay doesn't like this word. I don't think it's luck. The way I got this one-person retrospective was that somebody came to Ed Miller's, the curator came to Ed Miller's workshop, to Ed Miller's workplace, and saw my work.
Wow.
Because when I hired Ed Miller as an apprentice, he started to sell my work on the internet. So luck was when the curator came, saw my work, and said, I would like him to be shown in the museum. Luck. So a lot of life is luck on that. You don't suddenly decide you're going to become a great artist.
Right.
And art is very, very difficult. I mean, elusive, strange, demanding, whatever you want to call it. It's like writing. Do you ever attempt to write or to do anything?
I did. Yeah.
So you have to sit down and structure yourself on that. So I hope if anybody wants to come to my room, want to look at art. Now I invited that new guy, that Brad, and he demeaned my art. He made fun of it. He apologized after realizing it. He was not polite.
Yeah.
It's very subjective.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is on that. So anything else?
Well, Saul, this was perfect. Thank you so much for being
was good.
it was very good. Thank you so much for being my
I
first
heard you're going to
guest.
delete the part about my wife.
No, unless you want me to.
No, I don't see any reason.
Oh, okay.
It would be normal to avoid that,
Yeah.
but that's life. I'm not trying to avoid reality.
Yeah.
And that's a swing part of my life. My life could be described as an up and down, sideways event. That's the way it goes. Why make it sound like some kind of idealistic? It's not idealistic. I never had, when the psychiatrist was trying to put my life together, or we were trying to work something out, I took a picture. I have a picture back home of myself when I was 14. And I said, this was a freckle-faced kid just living.
Yeah.
And if people ask me what was the best part of my life, it was pre-adolescent,
Yeah.
where I played most of the time. I went fishing. I played stickball. I don't know what the hell was going on. Did anybody? And that was it.
Carefree life.
What?
It was a carefree time.
Yeah, but you didn't say, oh, look, I'm carefree.
Yeah.
If my father yelled at me, he wanted me to work at the age of 10.
Yeah.
He was work-oriented. Oh, you're not working yet? You're already 12? No, Dad, I'm only 10. Well, he couldn't wait for me to contribute a dime. So my first job, I got $35 a week. I gave $15 in.
Wow.
It was a different culture,
Yeah.
that kind of thing on that. But if I want to help anybody through this thing or through you there, June comes in to see me sometimes.
Yeah.
June.
Well, Saul, we have to
That's it.
cut off now, I think.
Okay, these guys are sleeping. Did I put you to sleep?
Not sleeping at all. Not sleeping at all.
Well, thank you so much, Saul.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you,
Did
gentlemen.
we leave anything out? Did it work?
Thought you did. Excellent.
Well, you told me you forgot to put the tape in.